Hi, Krista Mashore, Homes by Krista. This segment is gonna rock you. Let me tell you why. Everyone has been asking, is the next presidential election going to cause housing prices in the United States to decrease? Is there a chance it could happen? Could there be a slight dip? Could it temporarily go down? Of course it could. That could happen no matter who the next presidential electorates are. But guess what? Should buyers and sellers beware? I don't think so. The whole world right now is in uproar about who our next president's going to be in the United States. I'm a little bit nervous as well. It's probably the first time in history that neither side, either Democrat or Republican, had a favorable candidate. So we're all very nervous. But guess what? So not only are we worried here in the United States, but this could affect our actual overall economy. But does this mean, due to our new president, that we are going to have housing prices decrease in the United States? I understand that uncertainty creates fear. I get it. We're all nervous, right? But here's what I want you to say. Let's not look at what the media is saying. Let's not look at how the media is using the headlines and they're trying to interpret what's happening right now with the president electorate based upon making good headlines. Let's look to see what exactly the experts are saying, okay? So every year, the Home Price Expectation Survey comes out. What is that? Remember? That is a nationwide panel of over 100 economists, real estate experts, and investment and market strategists. So what does the Home Price Expectation Survey predict? They predict that through 2020, we are going to have increases in mean appreciation throughout the United States. So some people are thinking that people in real estate like myself or maybe other bankers, that they might be trying to sway what's going on. So let's take a look at what the Wall Street Journal is saying. So the Wall Street Journal just interviewed 60 economists, more than 60 economists, and they all, over the past 3 months, the closer that we're getting to the election, their odds of the United States being in recession within the next 12 months is actually decreasing. So as we're getting closer to the election, their thoughts about us being in a recession over the next 12 months is actually going down. And remember, they're not real estate related. They are 60 economists at the Wall Street Journal actually opinionated. They got their opinions. Not opinionated. Got their opinions. So, why do we think that everyone's nervous right now? So the pending home sales report came out and it was actually lower. The pending homes were lower than previous times throughout this past year. So people are saying, oh, we're getting nervous, we're going to have a crash again, we were appreciating too much. Just like the opinions from the Home Expectation Price Survey, just as they think that prices are going to continue to increase, so do I. The reason that we're seeing less pending homes is because we have less inventory. So let's take a look at this report. So the pending home sales report year over year by region. You'll notice we're down, especially right here in the West, because the West has the lowest amounts of inventory. You'll notice that the Northeast, they are actually increasing by 5.9% because they are a state where they have judicial foreclosures. So they've taken longer to get rid of their foreclosures, thus meaning they have more inventory in hand, so they're not seeing as much competition and bidding wars like we're seeing here in the West. So that last graph just showed what? It showed that pending sales were down. But if you look at prices, what's happening right now with prices, we're seeing increasing in prices. In fact, where is it increasing the most significant? It's in the West, where we had the least amount of pending home sales. So do you see how you can really, if you interpret the data, you can think that it's saying one thing if you don't really analyze what it's actually doing, all right? Now the Northeast, they have the slowest amount of appreciation. Why? Because they have more inventory. We're not seeing as many bidding wars. So again, even though we're having a new election, a new president, we are still seeing appreciation and growth right now within our housing market because we are expected to continue to see lack of inventory over the next several years. Remember, we have millennials entering the market like crazy. Now let's look at the report from the National Association of Realtors. This is housing supply. Look at this. From September of last year all the way to August of this year, you see that we have a lack of housing supply, right? There's a lack of houses out there. That's why we noticed that this quarter there was less pending home sales. Because if you look at August had the highest amount of lack of supply throughout the whole year since September of last year. again, more ways to prove our point. Let's look at this, the number of homes for sale from 2015, the third quarter, compared to 2016, the third quarter. If you'll notice, starter homes, trade-up homes, and also premium homes, in each segment we are down. We have less number of homes per sale in all type of homes that we're looking for. That's a significant difference. That's the reason why we're seeing the fact that the pending homes are less. It's not because we're having another crash. Now let's take a look at what Dr. Frank Nothaf, he's the CoreLogic chief economist. What did he say? He said if mortgage rates continue to remain relatively low and job growth continues as most forecasters expect, then home purchases are likely to rise in the coming year. Okay, so again, everyone's saying that home purchases are going to rise regardless of who the next president's going to be. Everyone knows it's either going to be Trump, right, or Clinton, and they don't seem to mind. They still know that the pricing is going to come up because of the fact that we have a lack of inventory and more millennials entering the market. So now let's look at what is projected for the total family home sales from 2016 and 2017. If you'll notice, from everyone at the National Association of Realtors, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the Mortgage Bankers Association, they all are predicting that we are going to have more total family home sales from 2016 to 2017. The numbers are all going up from all of them. Again, what does that mean? If we're having more sales, most likely, the prices are going to continue to increase. So I'm just going to focus on one quick statement. This is the chief economist from the National Association of Realtors. I'm just going to talk about half of this quote. So, however, there's no question that after peaking in June, sales in the majority of the country have inched backwards because inventory isn't picking up. Again, so we've gone down a bit because of the lack of inventory. So meaning the prices haven't come down. Remember, the amount of homes on the market have, because lack of inventory. Okay, so October, the National Association of Realtors, what did they say is going to happen? The percent change in sales from last year to this year in every price range, all of them have increased with the exception of from 0 to 100,000. Why? Because there's hardly any homes in the United States that you can get for under 100,000. Everything else has increased. If you look at this, even homes that are considered to be on the higher end, $1 million plus, have also increased by 21% from this time last year until now. Good news, correct? So if we think that all of a sudden we're going to have a crash from going from 20% down, it doesn't make a lot of logical sense. Now, of course, we always love talking about interest rates. With interest rates so low, it makes it much more affordable for a buyer to be able to buy a home. So let's look at the interest rates over the past 30 years. People, we are at all-time lows. Right now, we're at the lowest point in October of this year that we've been in for 30 years. What does that mean? That's great news. That's great for buyers because you can actually afford more and pay less and still, of course, have your interest write-off. Now, what are the projections from the people that matter, right? What are they saying is going to happen to interest rates? Again, nothing crazy, but they are all saying, from Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the Mortgage Bankers Association, and the National Association of Realtors, are all anticipating that the interest rates are going to increase. Are they going to be crazy? No. They're all projected to be through the third quarter of 2017, under 4%. Right now, remember, we had all-time lows in October, and still, even if we do go this high, that is still relatively low compared to what's happened throughout the nation. Compared to what's happened in our parents' lifetime. Okay, so what have we learned here today? We have learned that the people that really are experts, the chief economists around the world, financial advisors, they're all saying that they do not believe that house prices are going to drop. In fact, they all are saying that house prices are going to increase. And again, why? Due to lack of inventory. Does it matter who our next president's going to be? Not according to the experts. So don't let the headlines fool you. If you want to know the truth, find out the truth from people that really, really know, the experts across the nation. So let's kind of recap what we learned today. We learned that even though we have a new presidential election coming up that not everyone's super favorable about, that the experts throughout the nation are saying that home prices are going to continue to increase. So don't be nervous whether Trump or Hillary wins. It doesn't really matter because everyone is saying that knows that home prices are going to continue to go up due to lack of inventory. Remember, interest rates are low. They're still anticipated from people that really matter and know to continue to remain low through the third quarter of 2017. So my prediction is that we're going to see normal appreciation through the next 5 to 8 years. Again, why? Millennials entering the market, lack of inventory. This is good news. Quit listening to the media. Listen to what matters. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you do what you love, people love what you do. Anything you need, let me know, and I'd love to help out. Krista Mashore, Homes by Krista.